have.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us today on the Unconditional Podcast, where we empower entrepreneurs to become people who overcome trauma, to become set in their true identity, and to keep healthy boundaries in life. We do all this by sharing real stories and expert secrets. I'm your host, Rabbi Michael Schoening, and today joining us is Pastor Jim Pierce. Good to have you.
Hey, how's it going, brother? Good to see you.
So good. Thanks for jumping on here. But we need to mention our sponsor here. Our first sponsor is Planet Duct, Southern Colorado's best air duct cleaning company. They even clean my home's air ducts and dryer vents. They're also certified by the National Air Duct Cleaners Association. When it comes to your family's lung health, hire the best. Check them out today at planetduct.com. You know, Jim, you and I go back pretty much shortly after I moved to Colorado 7 years ago.
Right.
And we've done ministry together. We've traveled together. We've gone to Texas and spoken on stage together. Talked a lot of business, talked a lot of personal stuff, and hung out and really reached people in their personal lives. And that's why I really wanted to have you on the show, because Unconditional it's more of a leadership. When people hear entrepreneur, they always think just someone who owns a business. And of course, right, you own AAA Master Clean, but you're also a leader in many other parts of your life. And I think that's important. I want people to really relate and say, entrepreneur, of course we say, it's a French word. It means one who's willing to carry the weight. And as a pastor, there's some weight to that as well. Yeah. So, I wanted to ask, what project has been keeping you busy lately?
Yeah, so I'm involved in, like you said, several things. We also, my great friend Jake Langness and I lead a men's ministry together that we call our band. It's Bloodstained Allies Needing Direction. We've been doing that on Thursday nights and Monday nights, and we gather people who don't normally darken the door of a church. Yeah. And so that's been really fun. We've had some amazing opportunities to speak into the lives of people. And also a friend of yours, we went to his meeting on this last Thursday night. Was not Revant? What is the name of the? I'm just looking up, but it's always slipped my mind.
Inherent.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the manager, he said that you and him were very close friends, and I can't remember his name. Marshall. Yeah. Really great young man, and we had a great time meeting with the guys there at Inherent, and what they call it, the Huddle, and that was really fun. Just amazing people. Great business too. I love everything they have there. I want to go shop.
They're awesome.
So that's one of the things. We also started a fellowship called the Wild Branch Ministries, meeting out of my home, and you and I have a similar passion for many things in that respect, to kind of review scriptures from a very honest perspective and go back to what was instead of what's been, and dig down to the true roots and the true heritage that we have in our faith. So, and then of course running Master Clean for probably 18 years now.
18 years. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a while. And so that's been an adventure. So for me, because of my faith, because of my walk with God, this was not a standard entrepreneurial experience for me. I literally had a job at a big bank here in town, and I didn't like it. I was a mortgage loan officer, and just praying about what to do. And I took my kids to karate class, met a guy who owned a window cleaning business, and he said he was moving to Texas, and he said he was selling his business. I said, well, when are you leaving? He says, in about 2 weeks. I said, did you find a buyer? Did you find a buyer yet? He goes, no.
Yeah.
And I was like, but you're moving anyway? He's like, yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, how much you want for it? And he gave me a number. It's like, I could put that on a credit card.
Yeah. Nice.
So that was called Parkman Brothers, and I added that, and I knew how to clean windows, and so I basically took over an existing route for him, and I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, I think most entrepreneurs, you jump in with both feet, and and I think if you were a person with spiritual background, and you jump in with faith, believing that when you leap, something's going to meet you. And hopefully it's not a fiery death at the bottom of the canyon.
Yeah. But you were willing to try it out, and you said you were a loan officer.
Yeah. And I learned a lot. Yeah.
These aren't even like, when I think of a loan officer, and then I think of a window cleaning business CEO, operator.
Right.
I'm like what? Like, you gonna be shoeing, giraffes after this? It's like I don't know. I don't think anyone shoes giraffes, but I think that, I don't know. They're different.
No, yeah, and all of my work experience background is ridiculously varied.
Yeah.
So I started in my early 20s as a professional killer.
Okay.
So I was licensed in 2 states to kill. And of course, it had to weigh less than an ounce.
Oh, okay. So
you're getting nervous. It's like, is the CIA going to be calling me now?
Exterminator, I'm guessing.
I was a professional killer. Yes, I was an exterminator.
People came to you with the problem. You made the problem go away.
And I had the solution. I had a trap. I could take care of it.
Aren't you part Sicilian?
Sicilianos, yeah. My mom's side of the family.
It actually makes sense. So the part of the Sicilian part of you was able to surface during that time.
From Palermo. So so I did pest control for several years in California and here in Colorado. I was a children's pastor at a vineyard in Grand Junction for several years. Yeah. And I ran a cell phone store in Grand Junction for several years. I delivered pizza for several years. You do whatever it takes. You're trying to support your family. You're trying to make it work. You do whatever it takes.
Yeah, of course.
And at times I worked 2 or 3 jobs at the same time to take care of my family. And, so I was industrious. But I learned a lot. I also sold life insurance for a while. That was horrible, but I learned a lot. Learned about financial products. I learned a lot about sales and marketing, et cetera, at each level of business and ministry that I was involved in. So, awesome. So I moved to Colorado Springs from Grand Junction to clean windows with a friend of mine who had a business. And so he taught me to clean windows. It's not complicated. You just need a couple $100 worth of tools and customers to call you. Yeah. So I think people kind of, sometimes in today's world, they get this imaginary idea that they have to build some huge, elaborate 5-year plan and have all these elaborate schemes. And no, you just have to grab your tools and show up and be ready to work.
Somebody called that analysis paralysis. And it sucks because more intelligent people that are more equipped to do wonderful things in life don't. It's called being scared shiftless.
Yeah.
It's when there's a change that needs to happen, and sometimes that change is just, this plays in my head all the time. With this podcast, right? I just learned how to do this banners thing. Still working on getting my logo, before, after the video, and getting the logo up. Right. Like I talked about this podcast for a year and a half. I talked about writing a book for 10 years before I wrote and published The Unwind, which, by the way, you can message me and I can sell you a digital copy. Okay, so The Unwind, I've been talking 10 years, and I was like, I'm just going to do something. It's small. It's a 30-day devotional, but it's condensed and powerful. And my dad would always say this thing. It was during traffic, and he was yelling and flipping people off. But he was saying, do something, even if it's wrong. Just do something. And he would say this to drivers as they did, Oregon drivers are, you thought California drivers are bad. Oregon drivers are the same, just they don't drive half the speed. And so do something even if it's wrong. That was said to me so many times.
Right. There's even a song. There's a country song. I think it's called by a group called Javelina, and it says you got to do something even if it's wrong. And because a rolling car is easier to steer than one that's sitting still.
And a rolling car is easier to steer. And so that's awesome.
Yeah,
That was a big country. He's a big country music guy, so that.
So sometimes you gotta keep moving. You gotta keep rolling, and even if you're going the wrong direction, at least you have that momentum now that you can use. And in my case, because I'm a person of faith, then God has the ability to steer me in the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's an adventure. A good friend of mine from high school, he has his MBA from Oral Roberts University. He told me, get a copy of Inside the Tornado. And it had nothing to do with me as a window cleaner, but it's about the manufacturing industry and how Steve Jobs particularly, but all of these new, at the time, entrepreneurs were having overnight multi-billion-dollar businesses because they literally create a business tornado of activity. Yeah. And then they figured out how to organize the tornado and make it profitable. Because your 5-year business plan is worthless to you if you have nobody making that phone ring.
Yeah.
I have advertisers call me all the time. Well, we got this for you, X amount of dollars, the Gazette, TV, all these crazy mailers and everything else. And I'm like, how does your thing make my phone ring?
Yeah.
Well, we can't really guarantee anything. Okay. And so I'll try some of them. One of them I tried for a year or two. And finally she called me up to renew. And I said, listen, I've checked. My phone doesn't ring because of your ad. Oh, well, you got to get top of the mind awareness. I said, no, I need this to ring. If this don't ring, I can't pay your bill.
Yeah.
And so your advertising sucks. I don't know why, but it's not working. Other ads of the same type are working. Why isn't yours working? And so, as a business owner looking for businesses to partner with, I need somebody that makes the phone ring.
Yeah. But even being willing, so a lot of people don't, they don't do what you did though. A lot of people will advertise or do something with a friend of theirs or a family member. And sometimes it's an unhealthy boundary for them to feel that emotional attachment. I know as people are more on the sympathetic side of relationships, it's like, well, my friend owns this magazine and I'm supporting my friend and I know his kids and he invited me to a barbecue once. So if I quit my advertising, his kids are going to starve, but also part of that healthy boundary is, is not just bringing work home too often, but also bringing personal stuff into work too often. And I think that was great. You were able to recognize, hey, I'm trying something else, because it shows that you're willing to try something. You're willing to get rid of something, and it's the business. Business is business. So.
Yeah. And so over the years, I did window cleaning for many years. I advertised in the phone book when that was a thing. People don't even know what a phone book is anymore. And then when And then when this new thing, internet advertising came up, I pioneered it. I was like, for a few bucks a month, I could get the phone to ring 6 or 7 times or 10 or 15 times. So I jumped on that bandwagon, had a website built before any of my other competitors ever had that going. Nice. I was looking for new opportunities to get in front of customers. I knew how to clean windows, and you can train a monkey to clean windows. But what you can't train a monkey to do is have good customer service skills, to have good interpersonal skills, to relate to people as human beings. And like you mentioned, personal boundaries. When I'm training new employees, especially during window cleaning times of my business, but when I'm training them, one of the things I tell them is my analogy about the porch light. So, because oftentimes I hire people who are of a similar faith as mine, because I meet them at church or I meet them in some settings where we have that contact. Yeah, and sense. So I tell them, it's like, I don't mind if you share your faith, but here's a principle I want you to remember. I want you to remember that the porch light, we've all seen these porch lights where the exterior glass is clear, it's a globe, and you see the light bulb in the middle, and what do you see after a few weeks? It's full of filthy bugs and spiders and bugs, right? It's nasty, ugly, gross. Yeah. And then we've also seen the light bulb globes that are translucent, not transparent, but translucent. The translucent bulbs, you can see the light shine out, but you don't see all the filthy bugs on the inside. And so when I explain to these, because usually it's young guys that I'm hiring in their early 20s or late 20s, and they're young, they're eager, they're excited about their faith, they're excited about doing something fun and different instead of sitting in a factory job or a retail job. I'm sending them out to talk to customers.
Or their mom's basement.
Or their mom's basement, or my basement in some situations. So, but that's part of. People said, Jim, you don't really run a business. You run a ministry that also has a business.
It's a front. That's another Sicilian thing. Right. We got a business, but it's a front of something else. And then, of course, the window cleaning, and now Master Clean, of course, is mainly carpet cleaning now. So
yeah, we shifted gears to 90% of our business is carpet cleaning. But
what was the tipping point in shifting that?
that's funny. My analogy with the light bulb thing is people don't need to see the bugs in your life; they need to see the light shine from
That's
it.
right.
And that's a key principle in any sales. You may be on a sales job and you have a really rough day, whatever's going on, your stomach's bothering you, issues in your personal life or whatever, but you get there and you shine the light and you earn their business, whether you feel like it or not. I went through a divorce shortly after I started the window cleaning business. I would cry all the way to work. I would cry all the way home from my last job. I would put my kids to bed and I'd cry myself to sleep at night. It was a horrible time. My customers didn't know how horrible my situation was because they didn't need to see the bugs. They just need to see the light of what I was offering for me, my faith and my service that I was offering them. It was always the same level of excellence, no matter what I felt like. And oftentimes, as entrepreneurs or potential future entrepreneurs, we get wrapped up in our feelings. Because we do things on feeling. Oh, well, I feel good today. I can do anything. Oh, I feel terrible today. I'm going to go crawl under a rock.
And it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. Well, and to co-opt the Hebrew word musar. Musar is discipline. It's discipline from without.
Yeah.
Because the scripture says that God disciplines those that he loves. And it's musar is discipline from within. We discipline ourselves to set our goals and move forward with those goals. And if you fail, you can't lay on the floor, cry, and give up. You have to get up the next day because we want to. I mean, how many times have you done it? I've done it a million times.
Oh, yeah.
But I have to have some musar in my life and discipline myself to get up and move forward. So to switch from window cleaning to carpet cleaning, my youngest son is a very tall, really big guy. And he was good at window cleaning, but he hated ladders. He had a fear of heights. So they don't bother me at all, but he did not like it. So I had remarried, and my wife Debbie says, well, maybe you should start doing carpet cleaning and hand him the carpet cleaning jobs. So I advertised a little bit, and I got a job doing the carpet cleaning for a janitorial company. It was a big commercial job way down south in Pueblo. It was like, I don't know, 10, 15,000 square feet, big to me anyway. Yeah. So, and I didn't even have a machine yet. So I bought a machine. I bought a portable machine for $1,800, and I charged the guy $1,800. I figured I'll clean windows all day.
Oh my gosh! There's no greater explanation of what it means to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Having your first job, charging the guy $18, and going and buying the thing for $1,800.
Yeah, exactly. So I figured I'd clean windows all day, clean carpets all night, do that for 2 weeks. And then I'll have paid for the machine, nothing out of pocket. I just need sleep when it's over.
Yeah. So, after 2 weeks.
Yeah, it wasn't a brilliant, well thought out plan, but it was a plan. And so I did the job, and this gentleman refused to pay me. And then he started dogging me. He wouldn't answer the phone. I knew where he lived. I'd knock on his door, and he wouldn't come to the door. He wouldn't pay me. So I started praying about it. I was like, Lord, what do I do about this? I could sue him. I could take him to small claims, whatever. And I probably wouldn't get anything anyway, even if I won a settlement. And I felt like the Lord just said, forgive him.
Wow.
I was like, what? Yeah, just forgive the debt. So I wrote the guy letters like, hey, dude, I've been praying about this. I saw Christian paraphernalia hang up in your house. I don't know if you're a Christian or your wife's a Christian or not, but I'm gonna forgive this debt. I'm not gonna hold you accountable for it at all.
At least they went to a Christian's garage sale.
That's possible too. But I said, I don't know what your faith is or if you have any at all, but I'm just going to forgive this debt and not hold you accountable for it ever again. I'm not going to mention your name in this debt ever again. And I'm sowing it as seeds into the kingdom of God.
Yeah. And
never heard from him, not a word. And I didn't expect to, but I just figured, you got to put a seed in the ground.
Not even a thanks.
Nothing at all. But I said, you obviously need this money worse than I do. He had 3 young kids at home, and I didn't. So, for the scripture says that a seed must die and fall to the earth before it can bear fruit.
That's right.
So I was like, all right, that's just seed, and I just forgot about it. And then I got the call from this company, and they're like, hey, we know you do carpet cleaning. We want to sell these deals for you in advance. But you have to offer your services at half your normal price, and then we take half of that. We take 30 days to pay you. So you got to do the jobs for 30 days, and then we'll pay you a quarter of what you normally get paid. And I told this lady, that's nuts. That doesn't make any sense at all. She goes, I know it sounds terrible, but it works. I was like, no, that can't work. She called me 3 times to sell me on this thing, and I'm very phone sales resistant.
Sure, yeah.
So she called me 3 times, and I prayed about it, and I felt like the Lord said, do it. I was like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. But I was like, okay, I'm going to just do it. I'm going to obey my faith and try it. And so I did it. And so they sold 800 deals. My first check that I got from this company, can you guess how much it was?
$1,800.
$18,000.
18.
Yeah, the zero just moved over us.
Yeah, just a dot move. Yeah.
And Yeshua, Jesus, told a parable with it. Sower sows the word. Yep. Some get 30, some 60, and some 100-fold return. 100-fold return. And so you can look at my story and say, Pastor Jim, you're nuts. I don't believe in that spiritual stuff. But it's the truth of what happened. And whether it was coincidence, which personally I don't believe there is such things as coincidences, or a result of my faith in just saying, God, I trust you. I'm going to obey your word. I'm going to forgive a debt from a brother who owes a debt and let it go. And God said, now I'm going to multiply it back to you. I did that 4 more times. My first $18,000 check, I went and bought my first carpet cleaning van.
That's right.
For $12,000. But I paid cash. And I did it 3 more times. So I have
at what point in your life did you finally take a nap though? That's what I'm still saying. He's still trying to work on that.
I joke with my wife all the time. It's like, honey, we can sleep when we're dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so, I'll tell you that, I love the story. So, I mean, obviously we're out of time. We're a couple minutes over now, but It was good. So I didn't want to stop you. I think it's very valuable for people to recognize a couple different things. Is one, that you jump into the window cleaning business with no background, and you did it. You made it work. Number 2, you were willing to shift.
Right.
Ideas from spouses are more powerful than we'd like to think. But you were willing to shift into a different industry, and you listened to your wife, and it was to help your son. I mean, that's an awesome thing. But it ended up being more powerful, more successful than you probably ever could have imagined doing windows, especially, doing windows with a couple people. And now you've got, several trucks and a full company. And I see your trucks around town and everything, doing carpets, and you've done my carpets. So I know you've done carpets at the synagogue, the building where we rent as well. So, and churches, and I know you're in the community all over the place. Right. So it's amazing how, a lot of people, we just really need to be open to shift, to change, right, and to wandering out in the wilderness, even if we don't have everything planned out, and head for us, and that leads us to better things. So we've got a couple sponsorships need to mention. One is Unshakable, the Elite Mastermind for Men by Peter Lynch, good friend of mine. It is more than just a coaching program. It is an online coaching program, but it is a philosophy, making men again, and specifically in business. And Peter is an expert at sales coaching. So if you're a man and you have any sales in your business, go ahead and check this out at sleek.bio/unshakable. And then our third sponsor is Garage Fitness with my good buddy Gordon Brodecki. It's professional fitness coaching from anywhere, and soon he's going to announce a 21-day challenge for men 35 and up. I'm personally going to be doing it because I want to lose some poundage, I want to look good, and I want to feel good. And my wife deserves to have a husband that looks good too, so it's not just for me. And I want to have more confidence when I'm on stage speaking all over the nation. So thank you guys so much for your likes, subscribes, and follows. Oh, it's garagefitnessspa.com. It's where you get a hold of Gordon with Garage Fitness, garagefitnessspa.com. If you want to learn more about Unconditional, go to imunconditional.com. Jim, how can people get a hold of you if they're in Southern Colorado and they need to get some carpets cleaned?
So carpet cleaning, just give us a call. Our cell phone number, if you don't mind me giving that,
please,
is 719-310-0900. We do, of course, carpet cleaning. We also do duct cleaning, and We do dryer vent cleaning as well, but mostly carpet cleaning. And yeah, give us a call. We'll get you on the calendar. We'll take great care of you, and you'll be very pleased.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And I love what you're doing. Keep it up, man. And I look forward to the next show.
All right. Lord bless you, man.
You too. See ya. Shalom.
Shalom Aleichem.